Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to Gardening with D. We're here to take you on a journey and show you our rendition of a food forest / urban garden, pond, and a buttload of DIY projects. All right, folks, we're gonna jump straight in today, get these two plants into the ground. I wanna give you a little bit about why they're going in this place that they're going, what their purpose is, and of course, they're gonna provide fruit all year round for all 5 of my kids. This tree here is a Pakistan Mulberry, purple. It's gonna provide ample amount of shade. It should grow fairly quickly. So we're hoping that the afternoon sun and the morning sun will shade enough of both sides of the yard so things don't die. Because if you could tell, we'll give you a tour a little bit later. We have some plants in the ground already, but the Arizona heat has whooped their tails. We're gonna fix that starting today. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. All right here, what you can see me doing is digging a hole roughly about 2 by 2 feet, just getting the soil prepared to receive the plants. Now, here I am going back and forth to the truck with that Shameless O'Leary's garden soil that I purchased earlier that day. This is the soil we'll be using to help amend our soil. All right, that should be way more than enough than what I need. We're good. All right, I'm gonna do 2 scoops of the soil I bought from Greenleaf, Seamus Leary's farm today. And I'm gonna do 2 scoops of the soil that I have in my backyard, negative, minus out the rocks. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a nice mix. What this does is it allows the plant to get used to the environment. I get it, we're all in Arizona, but I do feel it's a difference in what part of Arizona you live in. I'm in Buckeye, and we have a very high pH level, so I want the plant to grow up in a balanced kind of environment. So when it gets mature enough, it'll root out and be able to eat off of whatever's growing in our backyard as of now. We're gonna add about 1 ounce of this, which is, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but this is fish emulsion with kelp. We're kind of gonna feed the soil to help feed the plant. So about 1 ounce of that, and we'll add about a gallon of water. It's been a long road to getting to where we at. We've had excavators back here trying to level all this out. All DIY, DIY by the way. We have our mix. Let's go ahead and drown this. We did about a half a gallon. Half a gallon right now. Mix it up good. There's our base. Now what this does, I tried to loosen up it as much as possible, but what this is gonna do over the time that the plant is maturing in this hole, the ground is gonna constantly stay wet, which will allow those roots to push through. It'll work out in the end. All right, we can check our hole. See, we're about almost level with the bucket, maybe 1 or 2 inch shot, which is fine because if you look at the plant itself, it's about a good 5 inches below the line of the bucket. It's a 3-gallon bucket. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna get it situated in the hole to see how we're gonna like it, since this is hopefully gonna be its final home and placement. We want it to stand up. We could train all trees to grow the way we want them to grow. But I think this is it. So, get this together. Loosen it out the pot. Here we go. Probably put another stick in the ground, pin it up so it grows straight. Now, what I like to do is use a little of this new soil. I'm going to layer this in there. So we'll do a layer of new soil. We'll do a layer of our soil or dirt, whichever one tickles your fancy. And then another layer of new soil. So, what I'm doing right now is, this is really fluffy stuff. So, if you leave it like that, it's got air pockets in it. What we're gonna do to help eliminate that, we're gonna flood this area, and then the water filling those voids should bring those air pockets out. But what I like to do is pack it down a little bit around the base, so that way I can add more soil, right, which feeds my plant longer, if you will. We're gonna bring it up to roughly about here, and we'll taper it away. We'll create a little canal in the middle so water will stay there, but you want to build it up at the end of the day. And then, I know I'm kind of new to this, but by spring we should have a tree full of mulberries. All right, so here we go. This is our mulch mixture that I have already on site. We're gonna layer this around. I do like the idea of layering mulch and allowing it to keep the temperature under there so it stays moist when it's hot as all get out. And then in the winter time, it'll stay relatively warm under there. I love that idea. So I'm taking it from my back garden bed, which unfortunately we had a snake, and I had my garden on the ground. That ship has sailed. We built garden beds, and we'll be ready to rock and roll with that come springtime. All right, for our Jamaican cherry, we're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna fill this hole with half and half dirt. I'm gonna put about half a gallon of this Fisher Motion kelp fertilizer in there. With this hole, I kinda already had plans for this. They definitely change with what I want out of here. So the original plan was I was gonna put the mulberry here, but it's gonna get too big and I don't want it to mess with our neighbors or anything like that. At least the Jamaican cherry I can prune back, it'll grow to however I want it, and we'll be done. Don't have to mess with the neighbors. We do not want our trees touching the walls. The walls get cold, they get hot. We're okay with a little radiating heat. We're not okay with that a door. All right. Luckily, this soil's already mixed up a little bit of a lot. We can just backfill it nicely. So I'm gonna flood this for about 5 minutes while I go ahead and mulch the other side. And when this is all said and done, we'll water the whole yard with the DIY sprinkler system we set up. We'll be right back. All right, we're just finishing up here. Both plants are mulched in, hitting this one with the last of the fertilizer. We hand watered that one. We let it run for about 4 minutes because there's actually no water filtration going to there. Not filtration, no water flow going to that point, if you will. But right here, our irrigation is set up and this is gonna get plenty. I'm gonna water for about 20 minutes tonight. As you can tell, the sun's going down. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, call it a night.